If you are tired of being broke, making excuses, see every single person on social media live the life that you want while you're stuck in situations in a life that you know you deserve more, this video is for you, because being broke is just not about money. It's about the choices that you make every single day. So let's dive right into it. And while we're on this drive, I'm gonna go pick up a friend. We are gonna be shooting a vlog. So on the way, let me talk to you guys. So I made a list of bullet points that I want to go over with you guys of things that I did in the past that kept me broke and how I changed it. And I see so many people doing the same things. The faster you change all these things, the faster you're gonna get to making millions of dollars no matter what age you are. Number one, being broke is a choice, it's not a circumstance. So many people have that mindset like, I come from this background, I live in this country, my father is this, my mother is this, I was not raised with money, I'm a shy person, I'm not the smartest, I have so much going on, I have to provide for. It's like people think that life only happens to them and they're the only people that had the worst case scenario, the horrible circumstances, horrible upbringing, hard decisions, crisis throughout their life. But most of the successful people that I know had to actually go through a hard life and a crisis, and they use that fuel, they use that in them to actually go ahead and do it. If you had a nice life, a normal life, you would be less excited or less inspired to actually go and create something, because you're like, okay, my life is okay, you know, my dad has money, my mom has money. But use the hard life that you had not as an excuse why you can't get everything, but as an excuse that everyone that's gonna come after you will have their life forever changed. So for example, when I was living in Canada, I was like, oh, I'm young, my English is broken, I never had a job before, but now I need to work a job. What am I gonna do? I was through that phase where, no, I'm not good at anything, I'm not the prettiest. That was what was going in my mind. But then I'm like, okay, well, all of these things that I just said, there's a solution. Find the job right now, get so good at, number one, sales, because it's the best thing that you can do as a woman is learn sales, learn how to speak. Number two, I made sure to practice and speak only English for years so I can actually remove that and I can be qualified. I started learning other skills. I started listening to mindset, to listen to a lot of coaches on YouTube. I started having general knowledge so I can be a confident woman where I know I have value to provide. So no matter what the situation is, I'm like, okay, I can just blame everything around me in my life, or I can take ownership and be like, you know what, okay, well, this is the real facts, but how can I change the facts? How can I change my behavior? What do I have to do to get to my goals? Instead of blaming everything and everyone without having your life ever be changed. When you give power away to a circumstance, to a family, to a friend, to a job, to a gender, anything, that's you giving power away. And power means you're gonna be broke forever. So never give the power away that a circumstance or how you were brought up or whatever is the reason why you're gonna stay broke for the rest of your life. And then what I also used to do is I realized that I was spending time like a broke person. Rich people understand that time is the most expensive asset we have. It's not money, it's time. Because once you know what to do with that time, your rate, your average per hour increases. Most people, when they're working minimum wage jobs, they're getting paid maybe $12 an hour, $15 an hour, $20 an hour. That is broke. Once you realize I'm valued at way more than that, then you start being very careful how you spend time. So when I was broke, what was I doing? Scrolling on social media and scrolling, watching Netflix for hours and hours, almost escaping my life and going out with friends and just doing whatever just to have time pass by because I was stressed from work. I would always take the longer route. Like even with flights, for example, I'm booking a flight, I would take something with like 2-3 stops because that will just be cheaper, like $100 cheaper, but it will add an extra 5 hours to the flight. But to me, time was not expensive. And as soon as I started understanding that time is more expensive, and that's how I'm gonna be rich for a very long time, if I value my time and be very selective in what I do with my time, that's how you're gonna realize there's so much time in the day. and you're just wasting it doing nonsense. So be very careful what you do with your time. Do not scroll on social media. Even videos on YouTube, I am very selective who I follow, what videos I listen to. That is all time spent into me. Do you guys know what's the average time human beings have on this earth? Like the average time? Let me ask ChatGPT. So basically, if you average 73 years, which is the average, some people of course die younger, you have 876 months, that's it. If you subtract childhood, where you don't have freedom, 0 to 18, time spent sleeping, about 25 years total, time spent... why did ChatGPT give me all this information? Time spent working a job you don't love. Why is my ChatGPT so savage and it knows that people are working jobs they don't love? Commuting, chores, screen time, obligation. Wow. It said you might only truly be alive for 8 to 15 years of it. Wow, that's actually your life. The years where you feel awake, powerful, and fulfilled and free are only 8 to 15 years. Because the rest, you're either sleeping, you're either a baby, or you're either working a job that you don't love. So the question isn't how long do we live, it's how much of your life are you actually living. Most people don't die at 73, they die at 30 and live another 40 years on repeat. Why is my ChatGPT literally the most savage human being, not human being, the most savage person ever? Most people choose to live these 8 to 15 years being broke, with less options, with less everything in this life. That just sounds horrible. But anyway, back to what I was saying. You're spending so much time like a broke person. Learn how to spend time like a rich person. Selective, intentional, dedicated, knowing what we're doing with our time. And entertainment, when you're broke, cut it all out. Replace it all with education so you can get to your goals faster. You watch TV, cut it out. You go watch sports, cut it out. You watch TikTok and Instagram, cut it out, unless you're actually learning mindset, values, business. Other than that, cut it out. Cut all that out. Time is expensive. Another thing we have to stop doing is spending so much money to just look rich on basically liabilities. Things that don't generate income. Buying clothes from random stores. And even if it's not expensive, it always ends up adding up. That's what poor people do. They spend money on luxury, on designer, on clothes, just wasting that money that they cannot afford, technically, instead of putting it and stacking it into assets that they know is gonna make them more money. When you're broke, I need you to stop thinking of pleasure, of, living now, of enjoying now. I need to start thinking 3-5 years ahead. These years that you're gonna sacrifice of, I need to, feel good, so I need to spoil myself. Replace that with, how can I make sure in the next 3 years I never have to work a job again, because I put so much into assets that will generate me income. And that doesn't have to be like, I need to buy a house. Maybe you can't afford a house, but find something within your means that you can spend money on that will create income for you. Whatever it is, there's so many ways to make money in these days. Make sure you understand them, research, learn, and then start doing that instead of just spending money on nonsense, because that's really what we all do. Now, broke people, what do they focus on? They focus on saving. Rich people, they focus on earning, and that's how they actually got rich. I want you to remove this from your language. How can I save money to afford this? Remove it. Take it out of your mind, take it out of your vocabulary. Always replace it. How can I make more money to afford this? That should be always what we say. What are extra things that I can do? How can I make more money in this short period of time? Once you start asking these questions, your mind will open to more possibilities on how people are making money, because now it's like an open receiver, an open radar. You see other people doing other businesses and you start getting inspired. You start noticing trends. You start noticing how is the rich getting richer. And that's how you are gonna get out of being broke. Stop asking, how can I save? Matter of fact, stop saving. Which brings me to my next point, which is broke people do everything but invest in themselves. They think that is the most expensive thing. They would rather spend the same money on dinners, the same money on outfits, the same money on vacations. As soon as money is about investing in themselves, in knowledge, a mastermind, a seminar, an event, a boot camp, a program, a course, a mentorship, suddenly, oh, it's $1,000? That's too expensive, I cannot afford it. Meanwhile, we know that $1,000, you're gonna spend it in one way or other. The less you invest in yourself, that's literally how you're never gonna be rich in your life. I have literally spent over $250,000 in the past 3 years investing into me. Courses, mastermind, from people that I look up to, and you get in proximity and then you learn from them because you pay. They're not gonna just teach you. You pay so they can teach you everything, so you can have a shortcut to your success. You can achieve things that takes people a decade. You can achieve it in a year to 2 years because you paid your way forward. The number one thing that have got me to where I am is I invest in myself, in my knowledge, not in myself as in cute little outfits, more than anyone does. And then broke people don't realize their comfort zone is what's keeping them basically broke. When they want to make sure the due diligence, oh, I'm so broke so I cannot afford to have any risks. You not taking any risks, you staying in your comfort and safe zone is what's gonna keep you broke for a very long time. You have to take every risk possible, learn and do the craziest things to get out of your situation. You have to try so many things, because what's the worst case scenario? I always tell people, when I was a waitress, that was the worst case scenario. There is no other worst case. What is below a waitress, right? It could be another job, another business, but making that much money was the worst case scenario. So I was not afraid to learn about new things. I was not afraid to ask questions, to look cringy, to look like a beginner, because I was a beginner. Who am I trying to fool? If my life was not matching up, I don't care what everyone else thinks. I care about how do I actually see my life, which I was broke and I was tired of being broke. So I made sure I take every single risk. I was the most open-minded person. And I was like, being in discomfort, just being, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna be a waitress and make $3,000 a month and just be okay. And maybe, no, I should not be greedy. That literally what all the people that I was serving with said and did. And 5 years later, when I go back to the same restaurant I used to work at, I look at where they are, the same exact situation. Absolutely not one thing changed. And I look at my life, I look like a whole different human being. It's like I was rebirthed into this new version of me. New language, new look, new bank account, new lifestyle, new everything. I turned my life around. I was a whole different human being, and I was okay with it. It's crazy because I even have more friends that were probably more talented than me, but because they loved safety, today talent did not serve them. I was not the most talented. They were definitely more talented than me, but because I was the craziest, always open to taking risks person, that's exactly what got me to where I am today. And that brings me to my next point, which is you have to network with people and be around people that have what you want. That energy, I promise you, that proximity, it just almost rubs off on you. I made sure all my friends that were broke, I stopped chilling with them. That might be harsh, but I stopped chilling with them because I'm like, they do these broke jokes and I say, haha, yes. And that's me agreeing to a broke person joke, a broke mindset joke. And it's not even about money. I'm talking about broke as in mentality, as in staying in the comfort, as in not wanting so much out of this life and going after everything that you want. Forget money. I'm talking about broke this. You start doing the same things they're doing, living the same way. You start even like thinking like, oh, maybe I do want too much. Maybe I should just slow down, not work so hard. You're literally the average of the 5 people you're around. I know we say that all the time, but it is very true. So I started hanging around people only that are entrepreneurs, that are successful business people, that have something going on for themselves, and every single day they're grinding, they're hustling, they're doing something about their life. They're not just chilling and doing the same things and expecting a different type of lifestyle. And that brings me to my last point is the faster you accept and you acknowledge that everything, absolutely everything in your life is fully your fault, the faster you will get to where you actually want. If you keep pointing fingers, you will literally not have that power, just like I talked about. Once you take responsibility, like, you know what, my bank account is my fault. Me not being, knowing all this information about business, my fault, because information is everywhere out there. Me being lazy and not doing everything that I said I'm gonna do, it's my fault. You can come from a broke family, but you have to understand that a broke family should not come from you. Make sure you, number one, track your money. Have awareness of what do you actually do every single day. Look at your habits. Look at your money spending, your money making skills. Look at the time that you spend doing nonsense. Switch all of that. Be very intentional about your life. Be very intentional about how much you want to make, how we're going to get there, who's going to be around us. Nothing in my life is ever casual, and this is why I got to where I am, because I don't like casual. No casual friends, no casual businesses, no casual money. I like serious everything. So get serious about your life. Let us know if one of these points gave you that aha moment, like, oh my god, I know I need to stop doing this one thing. Me personally, I did all of these things, and once I stopped and switched and changed my daily habits, that's when life fully changed. And it can change very, very fast if you do the right thing. So I think my friend is here. Where is she? Late, probably, because guess what girls do? I'm here, babe. Where are you? She's gonna be like, babe, 5 minutes. Oh my god, last time I made her wait an hour, so I cannot say nothing. I was at the doctor getting a facial, getting Botox, and I'm like, yeah, babe, I'm almost done. She's like, okay, I'm gonna come. She came and she waited literally an hour, and she ripped me apart. Kept calling me, babe, where are you? Why would you tell me to come? I'm like, babe, I swear, I thought I'm gonna be done earlier. Like, the doctor looked at me and she's like, you know what? We need to do a facial. We need to do a mask. We need to do this. What do you want me to say? No? And she was, I'm like, wow, you're yelling at me? That's crazy. So I cannot say much. I cannot be like, calm down now. Don't make me wait for another couple weeks. I need to wait for her so I can feel better about making her wait at least an hour. She said I need 10 minutes. Oh my god. Hi friend.
How are you?
You're in the vlog. Well, you're in the video.
Oh.
That's the friend that we've been waiting for, and she's here.
And I'm always late.
No, it's okay, babe.
How are you?
Good. How are you, vibes?
I'm very good, thank you very much.
Let's go have 1,000 million adventures. Oh my god, I almost went there.
Oh my god.
But anyway, guys, let us know in the comments, what do you relate to the most, and what is the one thing that you have to stop doing to become that rich girl forever? Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Ciao, ciao.